Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MTGOTraders. My name is Taryn, and this is the Upkeep. The Upkeep is your weekly roundup of news, information, and anything important to the MTG community that needs to be discussed. We traverse the multiverse for information so you don't have to. But before I get into the news, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check notifications so you don't miss any more episodes. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the news. Our top story of the week is a lot of unstable news. First up, we go over the surprising alternate art and even alternate effects some unstable cards have. They're calling them unstable variants, and they're remixes of the same card with either different art, different effects, or toth. Cards like Amateur or Tour, which has him in several different scenes, or one of my favorites, Beast in Show, which show different versions of an animal in a show. I won't go through all of them here, but honestly, I would love to see something like this in a black border set. I think that would be awesome. We had something like this for a few cards and a few sets back, but making this a more prevalent thing would be awesome. The creativity of Unstable at the moment is off the chain ridiculous. I can't wait to get a draft going with my friends. And on that note, Unstable is open for drafting this weekend. Make sure you check your local game store and see if they're hosting events near you. The draft weekend runs from December 9th through the 10th, so Saturday and Sunday. Unstable is also free to buy as well as of today, so if you want to grab some product and have some kitchen table fun, I highly recommend it. Next up, we've got some great MTGO event information. Vintage Master flashbacks are here, starting December 13th and running through December 20th. And they're also introducing a new Vintage Masters booster where some cards have different borders and different art. Keep in mind that these boosters are a chance to open Power 9 cards like Black Lotus and the like. However, they're giving us two different options. The one with the Time Walk arc will have the normal art Power 9, and the one with the Lion's Eye Diamond booster will have the new updated borders and art. It's super cool to see this, and I might be streaming this on the channel next week. Just gotta get on some of that vintage action. And of course, the start time for draft leagues are Wednesday after downtime, and you can pay the event in a variety of ways. It'll cost 25 tickets regularly, or 3 OG Vintage Masters boosters plus 4 event tickets, or 3 new Vintage Masters boosters plus 4 event tickets, or 250 play points, or 1 open silver play point bundle. Vintage Cube events though start on December 20th, and the full list of cards that have added or been removed are in the link below. But that's it for that. Next up, we have a follow-up to the story about the harassment and bullying story of last week. WoTc posted an article titled "A First Step," which talks about the violation of players with a code of conduct. Shortly after this, several high-profile players and content creators were put on suspension, and one is now banned for life. I won't go into much detail for this to save you the trouble, but the links are below and I'm sure you're already aware of it and of who I'm talking about. But as always, WoTc said that if you have any more information on harassment and bullying, to make sure to contact them through various outlets on social media. And lastly, I want to do some self-promotion. Heath Newton, the owner of MTGOTraders and Cape Fear Games, posted a video on this channel that talks about the health of MTG from the perspective of a local game store owner. It's about what WoTc could do to help keep local game stores a focus going forward, as those are one of the biggest reasons the community is as big as it is. I highly recommend you give it a watch and share the message if you like it. Alright, news over. Let's go through the standard meta wrap-up, counting down from 10 like last time. Number 10, we have once again Mardu vehicles with just 2.51% of the meta. Mardu vehicles might be getting better depending on the support from rivals, but I wouldn't count on it. Esper Approach has appeared at number 9 with a 3.07% of the meta, and while I'm happy that Esper lists are here, it's Approach, so ugh. Number 8 is a very cool blue-white cycling deck with 5.03% of the meta. Blue-white cycling, if you haven't seen it, is a super fun deck, making lots of 2/2 drakes and swinging in for flying damage. Number 7 is Sultai Pummeler. How the mighty have fallen here. 5.03% of the meta here. Pummeler is a fun deck, but apparently it was a flash in the pan from last week. Moving on though, the number 6 slot is of course Blue-White Control. The second Approach deck in the list is here, and whoo doggy am I happy to see this go out. Rotate out, that is. But now we're on to the top 5, and you know what that means, energy-based decks. Number 5 is 4-Color Energy at 5.31% of the meta, followed by nearly double that in percentage, Sultai Energy with 9.22% of the meta. Number 3 though is a real shocker. Blue-White Godfrey's Gift is here with 9.50% of the meta. I love this deck and I'm glad to see it in the top 3. It's such a glass cannon though, but geez, it's fun. Number 2 is of course the typical Roundup Red with 21.23% of the meta, and I'm sure we'll continue to see Rami Red here even after Rivals releases. And the number 1 slot, Teamer Energy / the other 4-Color Energy deck with 21.51% of the meta. Jeez. Attuned with Aether being the top card in all of these decks, by the way. While it doesn't necessarily win you the game, it's a tempo builder for energy and gives you a huge advantage for only 1 mana. Keep in mind, on day 2 of Star City Games Invitational on December 2nd, we saw that 65% are Teamer Energy decks, and just under 75% of those decks run Attuned with Aether. That's basically more than Cobblade numbers, and that's ridiculous. Hashtag ban Attune, WoTc. Energy was a mistake. Speaking of tournaments, we've got a few coming up. Grand Prix New Jersey is on December 15th, being Ixalan Limited, and on the same day Monday, we have Grand Prix Singapore with Ixalan Limited once again. But that's basically it. It's the end of the year, and Star City Games won't have another event until January. So it's relatively quiet for this time of year, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But that's it for the meta and tournament wrap-up. Next up is the Community Spotlight. And the first submission goes to Elijah Jones and Hillside Games in Asheville, North Carolina. Hillside Games specializes in board games, collectible card games, trading card games, role-playing games, miniatures, puzzles, gaming accessories, and much more. They're always buying Magic and Pokemon and even Yu-Gi-Oh! On Fridays and Saturdays. And their gaming library is extensive for anyone new to the game and wanting a demo. I thank you guys for being awesome, and I hope you have continued success in the future. But that is all the news and information I have for you today, folks. As always, these videos are sponsored by MTGOTraders, your #1 source for MTGO singles to buy and sell, and of course, K-Fear Games, where you can buy and sell paper MTG, but also trade in paper cards for MTGOTraders credit, 20% more than cash. So if you're into that, hit them up and tell them that I sent you. Alright, like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment below on the top stories that you found interesting today. I do have a question though. Do you think the code of conduct banning, especially the lifetime ban, was warranted in our recent situation? Would love to hear what you guys say in the comments below. Love you guys, and have a great day.